Hello children, welcome to Nischals Smart Learning Solution. My name is Banala Jaya Raj, biology teacher. Today we will discuss class 9 in Nischals integrated biology textbook. And this book is having 182 pages and also 11 chapters are there. So now I am reading each and every chapter that are there in our textbook. So first one is cell structure and function, plant tissues, animal tissues, plasma membrane, diversity in living organism, sense organ, animal behavior, challenges in improving agriculture products, adaptations in different ecosystem, soil pollution, biogeochemical cycles. So like that, there are 11 chapters are there, and in the first video, so that is the second chapter, plant tissue, we discuss the key concepts and also flow chart. So in the keys concept, we discuss, so what are protective tissues and what are the different types of tissues which are present in the plants. Protective tissues are epidermis and also cork, and they are protecting the plant from mechanical injuries, external injuries, and also from infections. And the different types of tissues generally we found in case of plants are, they are epidermal tissues, ground tissues, and vascular tissues. And they based on the ability to divide. These tissues are once again divided into two categories. So they are meristematic tissue and also permanent tissues. And meristematic tissues are of three types, and they are apical meristems, a lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Apical, they are present at the tip of the plant body. Lateral means they are present at the sides of the stem. And intercalary meristem, these are present in at the base of the leaf and also at the base of the internodes. And these meristematic tissues, they divide continuously throughout their life. But on the other hand, we see there are permanent tissues also present in the plants, and they are of three types, and they are epidermal tissues, ground tissues, and also vascular tissues. Epidermal tissues, ground tissues, vascular tissues, these three are the permanent tissues, and ground tissue consisting of three types of simple tissues. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and complex tissues also there in plant body, and they are also called as permanent tissues. And these conducting tissues are called like xylem and phloem. Xylem vessels and xylem tissue is useful for transportation of water and minerals, and phloem tissue is useful for transportation of food materials. So here we discuss, so what are the tissues which are present in plant body, and their location, and also we discuss their functions. Now on the interactive flat panel, you are observing functions of meristematic tissues. So I told you meristematic tissues are undergoing division continuously, and they are giving cells, and the cells they organize together form as tissues, and the tissue, once the cells are formed, once the tissues are formed, they lose the ability to divide, and they become permanent tissues. So here I am reading the concept. So there you see the parents of what functions of meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues are having, they are of living tissue, and there we see the presence of dense cytoplasm with nucleus, and the cell wall is thin. So here cellulose wall is present, but it is thin. And here you see when the cells are formed from meristematic tissues, lose the ability to divide and attain a permanent shape, size, and function. They are referred to as permanent tissues. Once the cells are formed from the division of meristematic tissues, and they are converted into permanent tissues, and they lose the ability to divide, and they become permanent tissues. And here you see the development process by which cells which have been derived from the meristematic tissue and take up a permanent shape, size and function is called as differentiation. So we are using a term differentiation. Differentiation means here cells are formed and they are of different size and performing different functions from the division of the meristematic tissues, and that process is called as differentiation. And permanent tissues are of two types. So I told you permanent tissues are of two types, and there you see simple and also complex tissues. So here children, permanent tissues are of two types. So they lose the ability to divide, and there are two types: simple permanent tissues and also complex permanent tissues. So here you are observing the heading, the presence of a heading, that is simple permanent tissues. So here simple permanent tissues example: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So here there are three types of simple permanent tissues at plant body, present in plant body. So they are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So parenchyma tissue is a living tissue, and its shape is isodiametric, and they are having dense cytoplasm with nucleus, and these parenchyma tissue they form bulk of the plant body. So here each and every part of the plant body is with parenchyma, and this parenchyma is serving, performing different functions present in different body parts of a plant. And some parenchyma they have chloroplast, and some parenchyma they have air water spaces, and they are called aerenchyma, and some parenchyma tissue are useful for the storage of food. So based on their functions, once again parenchyma tissues are divided to three categories. So they are chlorenchyma, and they are responsible for the preparation of food. They perform photosynthesis. And aerenchyma, and this tissue is present in the plants which grow in water, in aquatic plants, and their aerenchyma air spaces are present in the plant body, and these air spaces provide buoyancy to the plant body. Thereby they you may see they used to float on the water. That is aerenchyma. And storage tissue, some parenchyma tissue are useful for the storage of food. So we are eating vegetables, for example potato, carrot, beetroot. So all these are the plant bodies, and there you see the storage of food, and that tissue is nothing but parenchyma tissue. So here parenchyma form the bulk of the plant body. It consisting of thin walled living cells, and these cells are isodiametric and equally expanded in all sides. And here the cell wall is thin. So here children, you are observing a good diagram of, that is figure number 2.6, parenchyma on the interactive flat panel. So these are parenchyma tissue, very beautiful tissue you are observing, and there you see the shape of this parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue is of isodiametric and equally, that is they expand in all sides, and the cell wall is thin. So here you see the presence of a cell wall. Cell wall is present, but it is thin and enclose a dense cytoplasm which contain a small nucleus and also with a large vacuole. So here at the center of this parenchyma cells, a small nucleus is present and also a large vacuoles are present, and it is having cytoplasm, and it is isodiametric in shape. And here there are many, so abundant intercellular spaces are present, and thereby these intercellular spaces are helpful to get entry of carbon dioxide into the plant body. And the parenchyma is present in all organs of plants. So there you see roots, stems, flowers, branches. So all are these are called as plant organs, and these plant organs are with parenchyma tissue. So parenchyma tissue form the bulk of the plant body. So that is a brief description about parenchyma tissue. So here, children, you are observing parenchyma tissue, and parenchyma tissue is having abundant intercellular spaces, and they are isodiametric in shape, and they are living tissue, and they have thin what is cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, and they have cytoplasm, and also small nucleus, and also large vacuole. So here they are present in large number in plant body, in all plant bodies. So plants are having different organs, and these organs are having parenchyma. And now we need to understand about another tissue, the functions of the parenchyma tissue. So already we discussed. So what are the functions performed by the parenchyma? So it is a bulk of the tissue which is present in plant organs, and it is useful for storage of food, and it is useful for the preparation of food by the presence of chloroplast, and also useful for this for to give the plant to buoyance on the water. So all these are the functions performed by parenchyma. The main function of parenchyma tissue is storage of food. So we are eating different food items, vegetables, potato, beetroot, carrot. All these are the plant parts, and these plant parts are storing food, and that tissue is nothing but parenchyma. Starch in the parenchyma of cortex of potato tuber, and parenchyma form the framework of all plant organs. So here plants are having organs, and the framework of the organs is by means of the presence of parenchyma tissues. So cortex, teeth, and parenchyma serves as a package tissue and fill all the parts of the plant body. So here parenchyma tissue is formed as a bulk tissue, and it is present in all plant parts. Again, it stores waste materials, so in the form of gums and in the form of crystals. So it acts as a storage tissue, and the intercellular spaces are abundant. So thereby it makes the air to get into the plants, and thereby when the air enters the plant, and that air contains of carbon dioxide and oxygen, and carbon dioxide is used to do the process of photosynthesis for the preparation of food, and that food becomes starch, and oxygen that is taken by the plant during daytime, night time, and that oxygen is useful for respiration. So that is the reason this tissue is having abundant intercellular spaces, and they have thin walls. And if the chloroplasts are present in the parenchyma, they perform photosynthesis and they prepare food. And in aquatic plants, the plants which grow in water, and these aquatic plants are having thin what stem, and this plant they used to float on the water because of the presence of this tissue, that is parenchyma, and this parenchyma consisting of 8 spaces, and that parenchyma is called aerenchyma, and it makes the plant to float on the water. So in this way this parenchyma is tissue is performing many functions in case of plants. So we discuss the functions of parenchyma. And now we need to discuss another type of simple tissue, that is cholenchyma. So cholenchyma is another type of permanent tissue which is present in plant body. Cholenchyma, they are elongate tissues, and they have thick corner walls, and they are living, and here intercellular spaces are absent. And some of these cholenchyma tissue consists of chloroplast, and they perform photosynthesis. Again, These collenchyma tissue are present just below 3 to 4 centimeters below the epidermis in case of stem, in case of leaves, in case of petioles, and also in herbaceous dicot plants. Dicot means the plants which are having two cotyledons, and those plants are called dicots. Monocot plant are called they have only one cotyledon. Suppose if one cotyledon is present, and that plants are called as monocots. If two cotyledons are present, and those plants are called as dicots. Again, the cells of this tissue are living, and they are elongated and irregularly thickened at the corners. And you see, and they are not having intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces are absent, but abundant intercellular spaces are present in case of parenchyma. In case of collenchyma, no intercellular spaces. So that is the difference between parenchyma and also collenchyma. Here in collenchyma, intercellular spaces are absent, and these cells are elongated, and parenchyma cells are isodiametric, and these are elongated, and they have thickened, that is corners. So their cell corners are thickened, and this tissue are having living cells. So here, children, you are observing a beautiful diagram, and figure number 2.7, there you see the presence of collenchyma, and these collenchyma cells are elongated, and they are having thickened corners, and they consisting of nucleus, cytoplasm, dense cytoplasm, and some of these collenchyma tissue consisting of chloroplast prepared food by the process of photosynthesis. Again, these collenchyma tissue are present just below the 3 to 4 centimeters below the epidermis. Again, we need to understand about what are the functions performed by the collenchyma. So, what are the functions performed by the collenchyma? So, it provides collenchyma, it consisting of thickened cell corners. So, edges of the collenchyma are thickened, and this thickened cells corners helps the plant to provide mechanical support, and they provide elasticity. Again, you see flexibility, elasticity. In this way, it is providing the plant, giving what strength, it is giving what mechanical strength. It allows easy bending of the various parts of the plant, just like leaves and the stem. So when cells of collenchyma contain chloroplast, and these chloroplasts are helpful for the preparation of food, performing photosynthesis.